this Tunisian scarf. This is a children's size, and I'm also made a little gap here so you can do this. It's a little twisted now, like this, and I made it with the Tunisian simple stitch, the purl stitch, and the knit stitch. And around I made a row of the crab stitch with a normal crochet. So I'm using this yarn from Lana Grossa, and sorry my label is a little not so nice anymore, but you know, you have to just choose a soft yarn. This is with wool, and I'm using like a Tunisian crochet hook from Knit Purl. This has an extension wire. See, this is the set that I'm using. This is with bamboo. This is very nice. I'm using 2 hooks, so this is why they are missing. And they also have like this different size with the extension cord. And this, and you can attach it. But today I'm using the shortest cord, but I'm gonna do a little trick here because otherwise this will, so like this. You need scissors, also some yard needles. I'm using a size 8mm crochet hook, and you know, the yarn you're choosing, if it recommends a size 5mm, you have to go up a few sizes with Tunisian crochet. We're gonna make a slip knot, and we're gonna chain 16 stitches. If you want to make it make more stitches, you just have to make sure that you can divide it by 2. Nio, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So now we have 16 with the loop on the hook, and I'm gonna pick up the loop like this. Just pick them up like and put them on the hook. We're gonna do the rib stitch first. This is the purl stitch and the knit stitch. This is because Tunisian crochet tends to curl up, so if you would start with a Tunisian simple stitch, your work will be curly at the beginning. So here we have, we're supposed to have 16, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, 16, 16, and now we're gonna chain 1. So yarn over and pull through 1 loop only. And now we're gonna yarn over and loop and pull through 2 loops. I'm gonna repeat this the entire row. So yarn over and pull through 2 loops. This is like the basic row in Tunisian crochet, so all the rows start like this when you're doing, no matter what stitch you use. I'm just gonna. So now we're gonna do 1 knit stitch and 1 purl stitch, and we're gonna work between the bars here with the knit stitch and through the first here and the purl stitch. So grab the yarn like this, and you see like the first, like a triangle here. Put your hook inside and pull up a loop. And now we're gonna do the purl stitch. So put the yarn on top, pinch the yarn, go through like this and pinch it here and pull through. So let me do that one more. Put the yarn over, set the hook like this and go through. And now we're gonna do a knit stitch. So find your little triangle there, here, purl stitch, and knit stitch, go through here, grab the yarn from behind and pull up a loop, and then the purl stitch, knit stitch, purl stitch, now the knit stitch, now the purl stitch, and now you have to like make it a little taller, and then you see where to put your hook. Next is the purl stitch, and now here we have a knit stitch. It's easier after the first row, and now we are at the end, and we're going to do this each time. So you have to look for the first chain one, and here it is. It's easier to see if you put the work like this. So here you don't want to put the hook here, but there, and we have to put it through both loops here. So grab the yarn and pull through one loop only, and then grab the yarn and pull through two. So I'm going to repeat this. Grab the yarn and pull through two loops, two loops, now you're gonna have to look at the work, and you see this is the knit stitch, and now it's a little easier to see the purls and the knit. If you look, this is the purl stitch. It always has this little knot in front of it, and it's quite easy to see where you have to put your hook now. And then a purl stitch, just pinch it, and you have to go here over this little knot, pinch the yarn and pull through. Now the knit stitch and a purl stitch. Go through both. Here, just go through the front. And we're gonna do purl stitch. See, it's much easier this round, or row I mean. Then a purl stitch. Now we have to look at the work again. So put your put your hook here and not there. So now chain one and pull through, and now two and pull through. Stitch, we're gonna do the Tunisian simple stitch. This is very simple. You're just gonna insert the hook in the first vertical bar, grab the yarn and pull up a loop, and also in the next one pull up a loop, and in the next one I'm going to do the same thing for the knit stitch and for the purl stitch. Let's see if we have 15 stitches. 2, 4, 6, 8. Again 16, and here is the last stitch. Grab the yarn and pull up a loop. And now we're gonna do this exactly the same thing as we done before. Grab the yarn and pull through 1, grab the yarn and pull through 2 loops, 2 loops, 2 loops, 2 loops. And this is the first row. And now we are gonna do exactly the same thing for about 50 rows or so, depending on how long you want it. I'm gonna do it with you one more time. So just insert the hook in the vertical bar and pull up a loop. Now we're at the last stitch. Remember to put the work like this, and then you see better where you have to insert your hook. Pull through 1, pull through 1. So you're gonna repeat this for until you have like the desired, until we get to the, you're gonna repeat this until we get to the place we're gonna make the little gap, as you can see here. So just repeat this all the way. This is like, I think 47 or 48 rows, and then you can meet me back and I'm gonna make this gap with you. It's very easy. We just have to bind off here and then pick up new stitches, and then we're gonna finish with the rib stitch. And also I did one row of single crochets here and 1 row of the crab stitch with the normal crochet hook. So I will see you in a bit. Also you can like choose other colors if you want to change color here. You know, I could show you how to change color. That's also very easy. Just wait a minute. Just let me grab some yarn. Depending on how the look you want, you can change color when you go this way or that way. You're gonna get a complete different result. So we're just gonna like grab a new yarn. I took a double strands of yarn because the other yarn is much thinner. So just do like this. If you don't have see, this is how you change color. You just put a strand of yarn there and crochet like you would with a other one. And now you can change color, or we can continue with the pink. Just gonna do one more row with the pink. If you want to now, you can add a new color when you go back also. Just yarn over and pull through like normal. Just grab a new strand of yarn. Now just let me pick up the gray one. I'm just pulling it up behind. Maybe there's a fancy way to do it also. Now we can work a little gray. Oh, this looks nice. I think I'm gonna keep this and do 2 rows of gray and 2 rows of pink. So give it a little multiple colors in the project. So I'm gonna meet you back with my scarf in a little bit. I'm just gonna make like 45 or 44 rows or so, and I'm gonna show you how to do this little gap. So I'll see you soon. I have crocheted my 50 rows, and this is how it looks now. So now we're gonna create this little gap. So I think we're gonna make 6 rows. I want to be a little more narrow this time, so we're gonna make 6 rows, and then just continue the same way that you did. See, I ended with pink, so I'm pulling up my gray yarn. So now I need my gray yarn. Let's put that pink one to the side, and we're gonna make we're gonna pull up 8 loops. So this is the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7, 8. I'm only pulling up 8 loops because I started with 16 loops. So if you have 20 stitches, you need 10 loops and so on. So chain 1, pull through 1 loop, and chain yarn over and pull through 2 loops. One more row with gray. Rows with pink. Have to find my last loop here. afterwards we only need 2 more rows, and then I'm going to show you how to do the cast off, and then you can do the other side. Chain 1, pull through 1, and chain 1, pull through 2. Switching colors. Two, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now 1 more row. And now we're gonna do the cast off. So we're gonna chain 1 and go through like normal and pull up a loop and do a slip stitch. Go there and do a slip stitch. And now find the last chains here and go through both loops. See, like this. This is our first one, and now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So just let me cut the yarn. And now we started with gray, so we need a little gray. Just gonna put my yarn here and put it on your hook. And now go through here to the first strand here. Go through and do a slip stitch like this. And pull up another loop. Like this. And the fourth loop, 5, 6, and 7. And the last one I took there, and yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2. Now 1 more round with gray. Now chain 1, and you don't have to do the slip stitches so tight here, because afterwards we are picking up stitches here and it's easier if it's not so tight. So just keep them loose. So like this. Now cut off the yarn. This is what we have now. So we're gonna pick up loops again. And this time we are making 2 rows with normal Tunisian simple stitch, and then we're going to switch to the rib stitch. So let me grab my pink yarn, because now I ended with gray. I'm going to weaving the ends later. So now we're gonna pick up loops, and if you count the stitches you will see that you have 2 less stitches now, but don't be alarmed, this is normal because the 1 stitch is from the loop from the hook, and we're gonna pick up 1 stitch from the side. Just make a slip knot and put it on your hook. This is your first stitch, and then find the find the first stitch here, grab the yarn, or pull and insert the hook, grab the yarn and pull up a loop, and the next stitch, next stitch, now we should have 8 stitches, 2, 4, 6, 8, and then just jump over here and pick up the first loop. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I'm gonna pick up a loop from this side here. Now we have our 16 stitches. Yarn over, pull through 1, pull through 2, pull through 2, don't worry about this space here, we're gonna make it, we're gonna fix this afterwards. Now we're just gonna repeat what we did at the beginning. So I'm gonna do a couple of more rows with the simple stitch, and then we're gonna do the rib stitch. Sorry, I see from my pattern now that I need to do 3 rows here with the gray before I can start with the rib stitch. So if you want to keep the pattern like in the beginning, you can do that. You know, I'm just gonna start with couple of rows with gray, and then I will meet you afterwards when I'm ready to move on. And we're gonna do this stitch here at the end, and we started with a knit stitch, so this is what I'm what I'm gonna do now. So if you remember, you have to go through here, grab the yarn and pull up a loop, and then yarn over, pinch the yarn, let go and grab it and yarn over. So if it's a little hard to see, just pull it a little bit like this, and then you can see the little V there. Just gonna do two rows, couple of rows with you, and then I'm gonna meet you afterwards when I've done my 6 rows, and then our shawl is finished. So I will meet you in a bit. Rows with the rib stitch, but you know, you just need to do as many as you did at the beginning. And now we're gonna yarn over and pull up the first loop, and then the second. Do just slip stitches like we did when we did this gap. If you want to, you can do single crochet row around this, but because I did this multicolor thing, I'm not sure if I want to do that anymore. But I can show you how with just a little example. You know, the normal single crochet, you know how to do, I guess, but just put 2 single crochets in each corner. So you test this corner, and at the beginning you do 2 single crochets, and the rest you just do 1 single crochet. So here I would chain 2 and put another single crochet here. Chain 1. And then do maybe another one like this, and this is your first. And now just continue here through the through the next, and just finish like this. Just let me see how it looks with the... Also, if you find a tail, you can just... Let me see how it looks with this multicolor. So I'm just crocheting also the tail in as I go. Now I could also get another crochet hook, because this one, or let me just like, yeah, so this is how it looks. If you do with this other color, you can also change to the same color here if you want to go to all that trouble. But when you get to the end, you can do a crab stitch. I think it looks better if you have one color to do it like this. This was also with 14 stitches, so it's a little narrow, so this was a way to make it a little wider. So if you're gonna do the crab stitch, just chain 1, skip the first, and insert the hook in the next, and do like a normal, pull through the loop like a normal single crochet, but just do it like backwards. See, like this. I also have a video on how to do the crab stitch, which I'm gonna link to here. See, this gives a nice finish, but you can choose a smaller hook. I think it will look better. I think I chose a much smaller hook, like a 5mm here. So, but this is just how to show you the possibilities on how to add a little interesting stitches there at the end. So, but I'm just gonna finish it like this. Just gonna weave in the ends here. But this is how it looks. I like the side. So this is how it looks at the end. You can also just make a scarf for adults. Just you don't have to do this gap. Just crochet like normal. You can use your leftovers. You know, this is two different yarns. This is Lana Grossa. It's called, I think I showed you the label at the beginning. And this is from Drops Design. This is with alpaca. It's also very soft. And because this one is much thicker than the alpaca yarn, I just use 2 strands. So you don't have to buy new yarn. Oh, I was supposed to show you here how to weave in. So we're just going to do that. Just let me grab some. And you see here, this is the problem that we have. Just go back a few. There. And now it's a little better. Don't have this gap anymore. Also here we have a little problem. So I'm gonna find a pink tail. Maybe a round pink tail. Yeah, and just hide the ends, weave in the ends, and this is the part that I don't like. Yeah, so I hope you like this video. Please subscribe to my channel if you want more. You can also check out my blog for free patterns and tutorials. And I wish you a nice day. Goodbye.